to today's episode of Confessions of an All Around Girl. Today's episode is going to be about confessions of a ding, 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 ding. You guessed it, love whore. Kill the music. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I am not a love whore. I'm just a whore in love. I am not a love whore. I'm just a whore in love. I am not a love whore. I'm just a whore in love. If you have never been there, I suggest you do not judge. Come on, sister. Lay it on the altar. I have a confession to make. I was a whorish lover. And I was a love whore, a whore for love. I am not a love whore. I'm just a whore in love. If you have never been there, I suggest you do not judge. I am not a love whore, not even a whore in love. I am just a woman who's finding the meaning of love. Oh, that is so sweet, sis, but you still love. Hello, and welcome to Confessions of a Love Whore. I wanted to say that song Confessions of a Love Whore. Like, how do you say it? Confessions of a Love Whore. Drama time. No, just kidding. Okay, so these are my confessions. Okay. Okay, well, I'm just gonna just elaborate before I just start confessing. Okay. So my relationship to love really sucks at this time. There was a time when I saw love as just simply talking to this would sound so like pathetic, simply talking to someone in a loving manner, not like hollering at them or talking about politics. I mean, just really getting to know them. Like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite football team? Just a million questions. The bubble phase. That is what I saw love as. And as time went on, I started seeing love as if we argue and have makeup sex, we're in love. And it wasn't just because I wanted to, it was because that's what was being presented. This is love. It's like when you have your definition and somebody keeps throwing their theory around. At some point, I mean, you have to take note of it, even if you don't, keep it. You know how you in the classroom, you take the note because the teacher tell you to, but you don't write everything down. You just moving your, you just moving your pencil, your pen. You're like, okay, I'll just. But in your heart and soul, you're like, I don't think this is very important, but I'm gonna pretend. Or you take the note and then throw it away, you lose it. It's not one of the things you highlight. Like it was a note, but it wasn't a highlighted note because it wasn't that necessary. It just was something you want to tell me. So never mind. My confessions as a love whore. Okay. I only call myself a love whore. I'm not a whore, but I love and I love love a lot. So I have been in different relationships, different situations. So it's kind of like you would think that I was a whore. So it's a very bad interpretation of me because I'm not a whore. And some of the people I have talked to have yet to see my sensual side or even my what I was going to call it, my platanga. You shouldn't call it a platanga. That's not even a word. They haven't seen my my softest place on earth escape. Ooh, they haven't seen my softest place on earth. They haven't experienced it. But just talking to me and me talking to them and spending time with them just makes me look like a love whore. Like, do you won't love that bad? Like I looked up love addictions a year ago because it just was clouding my mind. So I had to figure out what love addiction was. And I found out what it was. And I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I have a love addiction. Although it wasn't me, it was the person connected to me. But then I got kind of caught up in their addiction because I was, you know, if you're around a person who smokes a lot, I mean, you're going to be like, oh, let me try. And then you kind of, you can wean yourself off of it, but you can't deny the fact that you experienced it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I don't have to be such an addict as you are, but I did experience that thing, whatever it is. So I was in a love addiction cycle, and it was like, oh, you guys suck. It's a love addiction. It's somebody addicted to love. They don't know how to love, and they want to be loved. And when things happen, they blame everybody but themselves. So I knew that wasn't me because I take responsibility for everything. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, that was me at one point in time. I didn't take responsibility for nothing. I was like, you know what, you guys completely suck. You know, not like that. It was more arrogant, but I'm trying to make it funny so I don't. Well, not funny, but I'm trying to make it less abrasive because nobody's getting hurt here in this scenery. Because everything I'm talking about is so old, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you throw somebody on the bus. That's what do they call it? It's not attempted murder, is it? It's like attempted murder or manslaughter. I'm not slaughtering any men. I'm not attempting to murder anybody. Everybody's secret is safe with me. These are my secrets. And so yeah, I was a love addict, and I was just like, I don't know what was going on with me internally. I'm kind of embarrassed, you know, what I was when I read it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have been a total prick because I'm addicted to love. And I just be like, you guys don't know how to love. You guys, you know, don't know what love is. Let me tell you what love is. Pull out the Bible. Love is patient. Uh-huh. Love is caring. Uh-huh. Love is kind. Uh-huh. And you know, I was none of those things. I was patient. I was caring. I was kind. But I wasn't kind all the time, caring all the time. But anyway, I'm going more into thesis rather than love for. Okay, so my first love experience was with. Oh, and then I saw this book called "To All My Ex Lovers or Crushes" or something. I was going to read it, but I was like, no, because I was like, if I get into this book and it reminds me of any of my exes, I'm going to probably be a little excited, probably a little seduced, but at the same time, I'm gonna be stuck there for a minute because I have a vivid imagination. And so when I believe in something and I see something, that thing can stay in my mind for a long time. So I didn't want to read it. But my first experience of love outside of being a child, adolescence, because that would be like, I don't really remember. And then you can go into other stuff like abandonment and oh my gosh, I hurt my knee, but I didn't have anybody to cry to. So I'm not gonna make it like that. But my first theory of love was with this guy. He was pretty cool, nice to me, but I didn't know his reasoning. You know, he's a really nice guy. We had fun, we kicked it, but we were more like friends. But when you mix love and then like fondling, I'm going to say that love and fondling, you kind of get confused. Or when you mix friendship with fondling, I learned that when I got older that you can't be friends with a guy and have fondling moments because it confuses the whole situation. Now you think you're loving and not. It's just fondling your friend. So nonetheless, we fondled each other and it was really nice. But then it got addicting. It was happening more often than it should be. Mind you, I wasn't even supposed to be talking to anyone. So it was just like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? And it was like, I love you too. And it would be all night on the phone, falling asleep on the phone. And so I'm thinking that this is love when it's just two people having conversations, getting to know each other. He did buy me a gift for Valentine's Day. So I'm like super head over. He was like, oh my goodness, we are really in love, like love, love. And I knew nothing of the sort, but I'm thinking it's something. So then I got this strange phone call from I was about to say the devil from um Mr. Wannabe. We're gonna call him Mr. Wannabe. The first guy was Mr. Smooth because he's very, you know, just smooth to me. I liked his voice. I liked his swag. He was a little cocky, and he knew I was a little cocky. He'll throw it back at me. We was on some. What you mean? There was a little girl. What you mean? Oh, so you think? So you think I ain't about that life? These are not the terms we use. You know. So you think I'm whack? Or you think I'm lame? He's like, nah. and then he would say something to calm me down. And we would sing on the phone to each other. He would be like, sing to me. I would be like, I don't like that. I don't even know how I sounded, but he liked it. So I liked that he liked me singing to him because everybody else thought I was so completely whack. But singing to him just felt good to my soul. He just felt good to my soul. He just was yeah, he felt good to my soul. And it wasn't the fondling that felt good. It was just the chemistry at the moment. So then I got a call from Mr. Wannabe. So I was like, I don't even know where Mr. Wannabe came from. Mr. Wannabe just came out of nowhere. I'm like, Mr. Wannabe, what do you want with me? And he's like, you gave me your number, so I'm just, well, that probably would be Mr. Smooth Voice. Mr. Wannabe was like, you gave me a number. I was just calling to see what was up. It's a person who, don't really know what they want, but you could tell they trying to get something. That's what Mr. Wannabe was. I was like, well, cool, because I'm young. I'm like, let's talk. So we're talking, and he's talking about stuff that I know nothing about. So immediately I'm intrigued. He was talking about bundling to the, you know, he was talking about funnel cakes. If if me and Mr. Smooth were talking about just fondling, he was the cake to that. He was the funnel cake because he put a little powder on, a little sugar. He made it sound like sweet and seductive. Immediate temptation. Didn't know nothing about it. Too young to understand even what it was. But I was intrigued because it was a different part of life. So I'm talking to Mr. Smooth and Mr. Wannabe at the same time. Not sleeping, not fondling with both at the same time. Not my stilo. But I was talking to them. I'm figuring Mr. Smooth, he got some companions. He's smooth. But I'm top, I'm HBIC in that moment. I'm top dog. At least I feel like that because I'm kind of like, I like Mr. Smooth and Mr. Wannabe is intriguing me. I'm like, okay, Mr. Smooth, he's busy during the day because he was doing other things in his parameter. I'm gonna leave it at that. And Mr. Wannabe was a wannabe, so he didn't have much to do. He just wanted to do something with somebody who would let him be that Mr. Wannabe character. So I let him be it. Just fill my head up to the clouds. I'm talking about head all in the moon. I'm just thinking it's just another universe to this world. I was like, you guys know nothing. But I hadn't decided that I wanted Mr. Wannabe. I wasn't like, okay, I'm in another universe. I'm staying with Mr. Wannabe. It wasn't like that because of my soul. See, I follow my heart and soul. I'm trying to be smooth. I follow my heart and soul, and so Mr. Wannabe stimulated my mind, but Mr. Smooth, he touched me on the soul level in my heart. So I would cry with Mr. Smooth about things that I would probably laugh at with Mr. Wannabe, or probably not even care about with Mr. Wannabe, because Mr. Wannabe is the type of guy that just want to engage. He is not there to stay. He's not there to fondle. He wants to funnel cake and then he wants to eat it. And that's it. And he wants to go his own way. So I'm thinking not on the terms of realizing what Mr. Wannabe's plans are. Because he's a wannabe. Wannabes cannot make up their mind because you want to be everything to everybody. I didn't know that's how wannabes was. I'm thinking he want to be, I want to be your man. I want to be your man. I thought he was a want to be my man. He was just a want to be your everybody man. Anyway, nevertheless. So, oddly enough, Mr. Smooth and Mr. Wannabe came to see me. Now, if I could tell you whose idea it was to come see me and who I talked to and told them okay, I think I told Mr. Wannabe it was okay, and then Mr. Smooth just popped up. However it went, both of them popped up. Now I'm just blindsided because I don't know what to do. You know me, I take off running. I figured out. No, what actually, it took place outside. I didn't even know that they had ran into each other. So it just was a confusing situation. It's like, who do you tell? I don't think Mr. Wannabe knew about Mr. Smooth, but Mr. Smooth didn't really know about Mr. Wannabe because it was just like I didn't, when you're with Mr. Wannabe, you're in the other universe, you don't realize that you're being pulled away from anything. You don't even realize that it was so much time. I didn't even realize that I was talking to him that long about stuff that didn't matter, but it was just so cool because I'm young. So I'm sitting there silly, this just silly. So Mr. Smooth was questioning me and I had no answer. It was like a detective. It was like, I don't know. And I cried because I knew that it was wrong. But it was like, again, I'm a love whore. I'm trying to figure out everything I can about love, in enough time to be able to experience it. Because not what I not want to do is be learning about love and never get to experience it. Like all my life I've been learning about love. I'm not gonna say I didn't have my experiences, but they don't last long. They just be just a get a whiff of this, just a whiff, and then it's gone. And I'm like, now what the heck am I supposed to do with this? So of course, Mr. Smooth was heartbroken, but he said he was talking to somebody. She told him that I'm in the wrong, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're hurting my feelings. You don't even understand. I was hurt. I was just in a very bad place." I was. I'm laughing now. I'm laughing now, but emotionally, I was. And Mr. Wannabe was kind of a distraction from my emotions because Mr. Smooth gave me emotions, but I had my own emotions too. So Mr. Smooth would give me emotions and Mr. Wannabe would distract me. Sometimes you just don't want all those emotions. This what is love whore thing. Like I love love, but it's so many emotions tied with love. They can be good or bad. And I'm like, man, are you down to be a distraction, babe? But don't distract me. Don't distract me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want a distraction. And Mr. Wannabe was that distraction, which led me to ultimately getting out of the situation with Mr. Smooth because he and I both agreed that it was not healthy for neither one of us. And he was like serious, like I mean, he blocked my number, and if he called me blocked. Like he was like the Mr. Smooth. I love you, but I love you so much that I gotta walk away. It was kind of like a turn on. It was like, dang, he love me. So I just like, I want to fondle you one more time. Just one more time. I don't want to fondle you one more time. Uh, but I had to grow up in that moment and prepare myself for the real world. Plot twist. Did I mention the baby was somewhere in between? No, that has nothing to do with it. That was so strange. But anyway, so I had to grow up and mature because I was, growing up. So silly of me to think that I care for me. Silly of me. I'm with Mr. Wannabe now. And I'm looking like a darn fool. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I should just stay with Mr. Smooth. I would have had enough. And Mr. Smooth still called, but he would call block and just check on me, check, make sure everything's okay. Like, what's up? Tell me what it is, you know? And I'm like, you know, I don't know what I said. I probably was like, oh, I miss you so much and everything's good. But at that point, I'm so far Mr. Wannabe's uh, imaginative promises that I don't hear nobody. It's like I'm talking to them, but I don't hear them. I'm talking to Mr. Smooth, but technically you ain't Mr. Smooth to me no more. You Mr. Who, what, when, where, and why? Because of my mental stimulation from Mr. Wannabe. He just stimulated my mind, which ultimately stimulated my body, made me want more. You stimulate a woman's mind. She just a little girl. Stimulated little girls because I was a little girl at that time. I'm not gonna say a woman. A woman, you can't play with my mind at this point in age. Because of that experience. That's why I say it's just even though I was a love whore, it taught me a lot. I didn't know anything about love. So that's probably all I share right now. How long have I been talking? I don't even know. I don't even know how long I've been talking. I guess it'll cut me off. But ultimately, after I could have turned that off the whole time. It's so sad. Ultimately, after I got with Mr. Wannabe, that's when life set in about what love really was and really wasn't. It was one of those things where it just was like, we weren't even in a relationship. He was just he wasn't even a dog. People say that like it's a dog ass nigga. He was just a wannabe. He was a wannabe player. Look, this is so much resentment. He was a wannabe player. He was a wannabe back. He wasn't even all that. I taught him the game because he was like stimulating my mind, but at the same time, I would throw stuff out there for him to analyze because even though I didn't know everything that he knew about the funnel cake, because I wasn't like funnel cake-ish advanced. I wasn't advanced in the funnel cake area. I just knew the funneling. I just knew how it looked. I didn't know like what to do with it and what each thing represented. You know what I mean? The way it was shaped. I wasn't advanced. He was. And of course, he was older, or at least he presented himself to know. But I stimulated him in a different way because I'm good with my words. My wordplay don't my wordplay is like therapy. It's like poetry. And if you really want to, stimulate a situation, have a person who can like lure your mind, match with a person who can lure your soul, who can lure your sensuality. Girl, that's some good funnel cake right there. That's funnel cake plus caramel plus um pretzel plus chocolate plus all that. That's it's a mixture of love and a call of the wild. That had nothing to do with that, but that's what came to me. So yeah, so it was all just you know, and I got a gift from that person too. It was what I wanted for my birthday. I didn't think I was going to get it. This person got it, but it was like a kind of, now that I look at it, it was like kind of just, oh, here you go because you wanted it. It wasn't like loving. Like Mr. Smooth gave it to me surprisingly. I didn't even know, but the way he did it was so player. He was like, come. Like he said, he couldn't give me nothing, but he was like, come here, come meet me. And I get up there and I'm like, feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. He loves me too. Like, oh, look at me. Look at you. Just all of you. And when he gave it to me, when I got the other gift from Mr. Wannabe, like years, I guess a year and so later, it was a good gift. You know what I mean? I think he gave me another gift before then too, but I'm just saying the one that I really was wanting, and he got it, but it was just like just to get it. And back then I didn't know because I was so thrilled. I was like, you got it for me? I didn't think you were gonna get it for me. Oh my goodness, you really really care. I couldn't even say you love me because I didn't. It was no expression behind it. Love, you feel it is an expression. When you care about somebody, it's just, man, I'm gonna do it on the strength of because I care about you. But when you love somebody, you feel it. It's an emotion. It just come through you. You feel it in a minute when they do something for you. I know that was out of love. When somebody care, you just respect it. I know she just did that because I care. He just did that because he care. Anyway, so after that, Mr. Wannabe, I saw his motives and his tactics. He was just treating me like I was just, you know, after he did all that to get in my head, we started off with some BS. So it was going to end in some BS and it ended. And I like to, it took everything in me to not be upset. And I had to think about Mr. Smooth and how Mr. Smooth felt. And you know what I did? I blamed myself. That's why I said I really don't have love addictions, but yeah, I was in a love addicting love situation. So I was like, okay, it's my fault because what I did to Mr. Smooth. So now I'm over here crying over Mr. Wannabe. Like, what's wrong with me? And I don't know what love is. And I love that, I loved Mr. Wannabe. I love Mr. Smooth too, but Mr. Wannabe has some things Mr. Smooth didn't have. I needed like I ain't gonna say that, but I needed like some stimulation. And Mr. Smooth was just that type of guy that was just, I'm smooth. You ain't getting nothing else. You know, I'm suave. And it's good. I respect that because you can't make anybody be what they don't want to be. But I don't want nobody who want to be all things to everybody. I want somebody who knows who they are. Looking back, Mr. Smooth was the guy who knew who he was, but I didn't know who I was. So it was not either of our faults. I had to just learn. And I even said if I was to meet Mr. Smooth to this day, the last thing he ever told me was don't ever change. Like he was so smooth, y'all. Like he broke over me and said don't ever change. I told you he made me want. I was like, wait, you you actually leaving? Like you have to come back when you say stuff like that because that makes the funneling that much more amazing. So anyway, Mr. Wannabe left and I was just sitting there like the rug had been pulled from under my and Mr. Wannabe did some stuff along the way, but I mean, we're not bashing anybody. Uh, but it was over. And I cried. And I hit him with that salt shaker because I was like, I put salt in that wound because okay, I'm gone. And I did. But I never like cussed him out. I respectfully walked away because that's what Mr. Smooth taught me. Just walked away with respect and your dignity and your pride intact. Hold your head up high. So I told Mr. Wannabe, listen, this is how this is gonna go, and I'll see you in the future. And it was gone. It was done for me. It was over, and I started having like conversations with other people. I met this one guy. I'm gonna call him Mr. Mac. Ooh, he was just Mac Daddy ish. Just Mac Mac. He had a grill and everything. He was one of them fast lane fellas. And I saw him some years later, and now he full of tattoos. And I'm like, do you still remember me? Because you look a little different now. Just got them tats. I don't want nobody but you kissing on my tattoos. That's me. I'm like, I was there before the tats, so don't get it twisted. You're like, I was there before you got butted. No, I was there before your tats, so don't get it twisted. But he was so cute, and he was a Mac, and I didn't have much going on, and he was going to school, but he just liked my conversation. I kind of knew him and I would never be together. He was my homeboy. I was his homegirl. I was always the homie. After those two relationships, I was just the homie. I decided friends to the end from now on. And he would tell me about other girls, but he would always say, "Man, I like you. I just like you. I don't know why. I just like." He told me, "I like the fuck out of you. I just like the way he talk." He was just everything. Mm. But he was Mr. Mac, so I didn't cross the line. I didn't fondle him. I didn't funnel cake him, but I did um made sure that I stimulated him because he was talking about what other people could do or how he liked them or maybe loved them, and I'm like, that's cool because I'm not a hater at all. No judges here. I let him talk about it, and then when it was my turn to speak, I would say some stuff that just blew his mind. He was like, "What the fuck? Like, I like you." I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Cause you're in a relationship and I'm not, and I would totally be disappointed. So, but no, at that point, I had an esteem about myself that I was proud of the girl I was. And listen, this is me. I was rough around the edges, and I was like, you know, a little a little ghetto. I don't know, a little thug. I had a little edge to me. I wasn't thug ever because I've never pulled a gun, never pulled a knife to cut nobody. I'm not thug at all. I don't wish I was, but I don't like when people like, you're not street. I'm not hood enough, but I had an edge. So it was like, it was perfect for him. He didn't need no stress. He had no stress because he was Mr. Mac. This was Mr. Mac. But my thing was, I'm kicking it with Mr. Mac. You know what I'm saying? This love whore is kicking it with Mr. Mac, and he's completely fine with it. He not tripping. He telling me about other girls. We not having no arguments about it. I'm not hanging up the phone in his face. It's Mr. Mac. Who cares? Mr. Wannabe, when Mr. Wannabe was telling me different things now, it was different because there was like, I know you didn't, but I didn't say anything. Like, I let Mr. Wannabe talk too. And this was towards after we kind of cut it off. I guess I skipped it. After we cut it off, he still called a little bit, or I would still call him and he would answer. And he would just tell me that he's basically moving on without telling me. Like, I met this girl and and then there were other times I would call and he would cry to me about the same girl he just bragged to me about. And I would just sit there and listen, thinking that would, help him and we would be back together. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's hurt him. I gotta hold my wannabe player. I ain't got all the tools in there. So you fucking wannabe. um, and it didn't make me feel good at all because his tears were my tears. I was one of those girls. Your tears, my pain, your pain. You probably got tired of that. Like, no, I need you to catch me. I don't know. But Mr. Mac was all of that and a bag of chips. I did not get to fondle Mr. Mac, but if I was to see him today, I would still dap him up and I think he would still dap me up because we had that bond that was unbreakable. No matter what girl called, he'd be like, somebody be on the other line. I'd be like, you finna hang up with me? He'd be like, man, fuck what you talking. He be like, hold on. And he'll click over and talk to him, then click back over and talk to me and be like, man, she want to talk some silly just trying to be a Mac, you know what I'm saying? And Mac and me, but I'm not even in, the bracket or the category of these other females that he's talking to because, I think he liked it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna start no controversy. But anyway, I wasn't even in that bracket, but still I was me enough that it sparked something in him. So I liked it that. So that was Mr. Mac. And this is after, all of the getting over Mr. Wannabe, realizing how I messed up with Mr. Smooth and trying to get things. And y'all know I'm so young while I'm talking about this. I'm not gonna tell you how young I was and what really was going on because this is just my confessions of the love whore that I am that proud of at this point because it has made me an amazing lover. One thing about love is once you went through all those unnecessary love struggles, those cycles that you think you're just never gonna get out, it makes you so much more loving. You don't even know. You just start hugging people. I mean, I just start singing my love for no reason with nobody in my life. I'm just like, love Love, cry for me. Go ahead and cry for me. Love, ooh, go ahead and cry. Cry, cry, cry for me. Just all about love. It was everything was love. I put love in my stickers, love in my kitchen, love in my bathroom, love in my car, just love everywhere. Love. Oh, look at those flowers. They are so lovely. Those butterflies. It just was all love because it was like coming out of the downside of it, because love has its effects on you. It's strongholds, and I this is what I tell people today. Like I like Fantasia. What's the side effects of you? Like I have to ask that question now, but not like I'm doing it now. But like, what's the side effects of you? Breathe. So after Mr. Mac, there was Mr. Or what do I call him? Man, he was Mr. Selfish, Mr. Liar, just Mr. He was Mr. Selfish, y'all, because he just told me, and he was older. Mind you, these guys are older than me. I don't date guys younger than me. I just don't like it because I feel like I'm mature, and even I must wasn't mature because I made a lot of mistakes. But I feel like I can handle it, and I liked that I did because at this point in my age, I'm very mature, and people don't know why when it comes to matters of love. Like I'm very mature. You know, I'm mature enough to say I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit. You crazy. No. No, I'm kidding, but I'm mature enough to handle situations and men and everything in my life from a different perspective. But the next guy I met was Mr. I gotta call him Mr. Snake. Mr. Snake. He ain't he's Mr. Snake, but he's really Mr. Selfish because but I'm not realizing this until later in life. He was Mr. Selfish because he was the type of guy who, knew exactly what to say to me, but he had a life outside of me. I could say that. And I didn't know. I wasn't aware. He was like, I'm going through this situation and I'm like, okay. Because I'm young as heck. I'm in my teens, but I'm young. And he's like, I'm going through this situation. I want my girl, but I don't. And you know what that means. I didn't know what that meant. I'm serious. And I was like, well, whatever. And he would come, we would kick it, talk, and he just would be like, he just liked me, liked the fondling, and it just was everything. He would buy me little stuff that I tell him to buy me, and we would just be like, whatever. And he would cry to me, tell me about his different situations. I just made me feel good, but I didn't realize that, some of them was just taken from me, taking advantage of me. I could say that, but it was the loving experience that I got because they weren't like the rudest relationship was Mr. Wannabe. The man I'm about to say the nicka who don't even know how to be. Like I don't want to say he don't know how to be a player. He just don't even know how to be himself because he's like one minute he like so gangster, the other minute he crying, the next minute like nigga get your emotions together first before you start claiming who you are. This it sound like a bunch. I don't have no resentment towards him, by the way. This is just because I let it drive me crazy for so long. Everybody was looking at me like, what the freak? It's not that serious, bro. Like, get a grip on reality. I had so many reality checks talking to that person, but I needed it because I needed to get my emotions together too. Because my emotions was, going overboard because his was. It was just like somebody who cup is full and they still pouring stuff. Like this cup is full, like it's done. You know what I'm saying? Or the jug empty and you still trying to get something out of it. Like this jug was empty. It was empty. And I'm still like, it gotta be something. You know how you get to the end of the jelly or the peanut butter or the mayo, and you like, I'm finna scrape these corners because you and I already got your sandwich and bread prepared. You like, I'm prepared for this. Give it to me. But anyway, it was done. So Mr. Snake wasn't like he wasn't a total douchebag to me, but he blindsided me and he bit me and it was poisonous. I wasn't aware. And he made his move and just I mean we were talking for a while, but he made his move and he was just gone like a slithering snake, like just ate me alive and then was like poisonous to everything about me. And then I was so advanced at that point that I didn't even realize that it had happened. I was like, oh, well, he gone. And I'm in situations where I can't really cry over a man. Like, I, even being the love whore that I am, I couldn't really cry over a man being gone too long because now I got responsibilities. You know what I mean? I got to take care of me. I got to take care of my surroundings. I got to take care of my kids. Like, I'm the type, I can't cry over a man too long. Like I'm kind of glad that I had children along the way because I would have still been crying over Mr. Wonderby. Mad at myself about not doing the right thing with Mr. Smooth. I'm not gonna say Mr. Smooth was all that. He didn't have his flaws, but I'm just saying I can admit that I kind of, I shouldn't have done that. I was a little naive. I didn't know. Mr. Smooth and I probably still wouldn't be together today, but I can promise you we would have been friends. It wouldn't have been that much scarring. Well, you just never really know. But Mr. Wannabe, ooh, well, who? I wish. No, no, I don't. I wish upon a star I never met Mr. Wannabe because it was like that was the most. It was just that it wasn't even like I'm grateful for the experience, but it made me look. When you're in a situation they make you look crazy. I want to go back to that. Like I looked at like a plump fool, and he had a big ass smile on his face, and then went somewhere else, and that smile was gone in a minute. I'm trying to come back over here. I said, "Pump your brakes, pump your brakes." Don't come over here with that. Um, Mr. Mac really taught me how to, just get my Mac on too. Because while he thought he was macking me, I was macking him because I realized Mr. Smooth and Mr. Wannabe just was teaching me the essentials of emotions, but Mr. Mac was teaching me how to get to him, they brain. By then I'm advanced because Mr. Wannabe taught me the brain, Mr. Smooth taught me the emotions, now Mr. Mac teaching me to smack. You get me? You follow my drill? By the time Mr. Snake came along, I had all that, but I didn't know about the lies and the deception that these men come with. The snake now, the Bible say be slides the snake gentle as a dove. But see, I didn't know about the snake part. I thought you were supposed to always be nice and be loving. And he came through there, tore me to smithereens. And I was like, okay. I was hurt. I was offended. I was like, oh my God. Like I said, and then the way people looked at me as if I knew what was going on. Like, I'm not know. Like, he telling me that it's not what it is. And I'm thinking that he just, like, got a girlfriend. I just said. And she's just a girlfriend. So I'm not knowing that it's like, okay, and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, what is we finna do here? And he's like, I don't want, how men are telling you, I don't want to be, and then y'all fondling or y'all might be about to fondle. And he just looks so just charming, girl. Just nothing but a snake. Just nothing but a snake. But it taught me leverage on how not to let a person snake you, shake you. I wouldn't learn these things, you guys. I'm a love whore. I had to learn through men the way men see things or how to understand a man. Maybe I should say how to understand a man, but no, I can't tell you how to understand a man. But like I said, Mr. Smooth taught me the emotional side. Mr. Wannabe taught me the mental, how these men play mind games. Mr. Mac taught me how, cause I can Mac you no diggity. You gotta bag it up. I like the way you work, okay? No, I'm telling you. And a man will be a fool to think he gonna play. But I don't play it like that to the point where I want to mac the man. But I can see when you macking me and I can get back with you. And some men are intimidated by that because when you look at me, you would think, oh, she's so innocent. I'm about to play on her emotions or I'm about to mess her head up or maybe just I just want to spend time with her because I just want to fonder her. Whatever they think, and then they get close and if they come out, wrong, I'm like, wait a minute. I was prepared for a nigga like you. I've been prepared for a man like you. I was playing. And some guys is like come up to me and they just lay all their emotions out because I have developed my love vibe anyway, my whole love energy, the way I perceive love. So they just come and want to lay up on my shoulder and just tell me everything. I'm like, yeah, you can tell me all that, but you ain't getting no funnel. We ain't funneling no more. I learned when a man just want to express himself to you is because he sees your sensuality and he feels like you're not that person who will shut them down. Because men want to express their emotions too. That's what I learned with Mr. Snake. But you got to be careful because they express their emotions and then they'll get all tied up. See, Mr. Smooth didn't really express his emotions too much, but he allowed me to express mine. That's the difference. Mr. Snake was expressing all these emotions, but he had an agenda behind those emotions. He wanted to get the funnel cake. He had a target. And I didn't know that until I got older and people looking at me like, that's what he wanted. You had a girl. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I don't I'm a love whore, but I don't ever talk to people who, you know, I try my best to rearrange that. I'm not that girl. But I didn't know. I was like, if you knew how old I was, like I really should have been in trouble. He should have been in trouble. I didn't tell my mom because I did kind of tweak my age a little bit because I was young. I was one of those girls who was just headstrong on like doing what she wanted to do or just living a life outside of the life I was in. The life I was in was horrible, okay? Nobody really liked me. Nobody really talked. This is when you start trying to get sympathy because you just fucked up. Nobody liked No, I didn't fuck up. No, seriously though. Like nobody really talked to me. And I was a nerd. And I just all my life was driven on being the smartest in the classroom, getting done with my work fast. Just a boring like I wasn't boring, like I was in the classroom and rap and tell songs like, hey, I'm about to do this, about to do it, about to do it. Don't you play with me. I swear to God, I might just go stupid. Just a little freestyle, a little playful like that, because that was my tomboy side. But I needed affection. And I didn't have like I didn't know, like, I didn't have like a connection with my father. Get the words together, girl. I didn't have a connection with my father, and I didn't know like that fatherly connection. So girls like that are promiscuous. They look for it in men, and I did that. That's why I'm a love whore. And I ain't sleep with the whole world. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like just out there like that, but I was promiscuous, and I'm not ashamed anymore. Plus, you can't see my face, so you won't even know who's talking to you. Anyway, nevertheless, but Mr. Snake came through there, and he was a python. So we're gonna keep this like I'm gonna keep it PG-13. But he was a pipe. My anaconda don't want none unless you got but like maybe he's an anaconda, I don't know, but it was he was and he taught me about snakes, and he left, and it was just it was weird because I thought I saw him one day, and then I didn't. It was like he disappeared in the blink of an eye. I was like, is he running from me? Well, I didn't know, like, and then this. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's a terrible thing. I have like vision trouble, so I can't really see. So I didn't even know those people. I could, if I saw them today, I wouldn't know who they were. Like Mr. Mac, I would know because I saw him get them tattoos, and he had his shape of his mouth and the way he talks. I knew his I knew his mouth was big or something like that, his teeth or something like that. Like I know, like because I know. And Mr. Wannabe, I just was there so long that I mean, when I see this stupid, this stupid face come about, I'm gonna know that it's. I was Mr. Wannabe, and Mr. Smooth. I kind of can peep his vibe because he look at me a certain way, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Mr. Smooth. Mr. Snake, I wouldn't even really know. Like these people would notice me before I notice them because I have distinct characteristics. So they would notice me before I notice them. If they would talk to me, I think they would at this point in time. But like people are kind of nervous to get close to me because they know that if you get close to me, you might get attached easily. Cause I make it easy to get attached to me. It's like I come with a hook in my bag, so it's just like attach your hook. I got the horses on the butt. What is it? One of the things. Had his matted black. Well, I'm gonna take my car to the hotel. I said I'm gonna take my car to the old car wash. Wash till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my car to the old car wash and wash till I can't no more. Clean till I can't. I was trying to make a song about it when I was going to the car wash with my kids. Take my car to the new car wash and go to clean till I can't no more. But anyway, through all of that, I've learned about how sex and all those influences were kind of shadowing love and how mental and all that, because love is all of those things. It's all those things in one. And then sometimes I feel like you can't have sex with love. You can't have sex without love. You can have love, not sex, because you can love a person but then not be sexually attracted to them. You can love a person like me and Mr. Matt. Well, no, we was kind of sexually, well, were we sexually attracted? We were just mentally attracted. I don't know. But at some point we can. But anyway, you can love somebody. Well, I'd say we weren't really sexually attracted. It's just one of those things we would play around with it. Um, Given the opportunity, we may have would have. But in this day and age, there's no way we wouldn't. Because he's evolved and I've evolved too. We've changed. Like I said, them tattoos, kissing all like that. But you can have love without sex, and you can have sex without love, and you have to know those different. I was learning those different things, but thus in learning about love, it made me a love whore. And people just say you're a whore because you slept with, oh my gosh, you slept with him. Like people were calling me, and I'm tell you, it, the real whores are not getting called whores these days. Like I had to learn that. It took me a long time to figure that out. The real whores of the day of Beverly Hills were not being called whores. They were being called astute, virtuous, loving women when they was telling me every penis they had. What I said, every pina colada and where it went. And how much they drank and how much they consumed and how many times they took that shot back and how many people bought that shot. Um, Oops, I finally slipped up and said something. That's when you know danger. I came in with a, made me leave it with a. Be cool. Okay. But anyway, that's gonna be the first episode of Confessions of a Love Whore. This is just like the teenage years. So it gets more deep, I guess, or we'll just see where this goes. This is just something I just thought of spur of the moment. I might not even continue, but this is just my first little thing. And of course I don't know what I'm gonna do. But if I get bored or I feel like I need to make these are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I could say, I'm just letting my heart out because I want a new slate in love. But I know I have not been so forthcoming in my love life and my relationships. I don't really tell people. I tell them like if they bought me a gift, or I tell them if they break my heart, be like, oh, he did this, or I tell them if they say some sly stuff. Like, can you believe like this mofo said what he said? And they're like most of the people I was talking to about my love life really didn't care. So it was like one of the things why I kept my love life to myself because I knew people didn't care. Or they probably wasn't giving me solicited advice. Like they were just giving me like looks. You know when somebody looking at you like you like I felt dumb in my love life and the decisions that I made. Like now I feel amazing. I feel like it was necessary and it made me to love and now I get so much like real like respect for my love life and real relationships that are fair to me offers coming in to where I control the relationship and I'm not being controlled, which is a good thing because I've been controlled like in my love life the whole sort of the roles have reversed. But back then it was just back then they didn't want me. Now I'm out there all alone. Back then it was just like when nobody even checking to even like tell me, but it's good because I needed to grow on my own and now people come to me for like relationship advice and how you feel about this and how you feel about that. So it's like a role reverse I had to do. I tell you I was very emotional, very just moody, very just clingy, neat. I don't know what I was, and it just blew up. It just like something, a bomb went off. It was like it blew off. Like, no, stop. That's not you. That's not who you're supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. Let it go. Breathe. And I woke up and started laughing at myself. The best thing I could ever do for myself was laugh because it took the laughter of other people away. It made their laughter seem like small. I'm like, I already laughed at that. So it doesn't make you like react or jerk your body. It doesn't make you feel any type of way because you've already laughed it off. Like I had to laugh in my life. It's like comical. That's why when I'm telling you I'm laughing, but it was so hard. But I had to look at it as this one big comedy with plot twist after plot twist because if I didn't, I was gonna drown in those tears. I had to say, you know what, that was a stupid decision, and why did I do that? And that's why I'm laughing at it now. But it was hard, and if I didn't see it that way, I was gonna stay there. And I realized that I'm not at the end of my role. I still got some life inside of me. I know you got a little life in. Uh-huh. I should be crying, but I just can't let it go. Yeah. So I realized there's still more love in me, but now it's purified. Now it's leveled. Now it's stable. Now it's emotion. It's mind, body, heart, and soul. It's not just, based off of the mind. It's not just experiencing love to understand what it is. It's enjoying love. Sometimes we experience love and sometimes we enjoy love. That's how I'm gonna end this. I have experienced it and I'm ready to enjoy it, but I want to let you in on my experiences. So this is Confessions of a Love Whore signing out. And that sounds like someone is not doing good. Anyway, the word is changing. But anyway, this is Confessions of a Love Whore, and I'm signing out. Hope you guys have a good one.